everybody. Welcome back. My name is Emily Oz. I'm the owner of Signpost Destinations. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. If you are new here, this month is March at the time of recording, and March is actually officially not even just here at Signpost Destinations, but it's Family Travel Month. So we are going to continue in with that theme, talking more about family travel. And this week specifically, we are pairing that with Disney because, hello, obviously, super awesome. Obviously, we have to talk about Disney. So we are going to welcome a very special and lovely guest today. Not new to Signpost Destinations, but new for our videos. I would like to introduce everybody to one of our Disney specialists. So please help me welcome Ashley. Hi, Ashley.
Hello, Emily.
It's always nice to see you.
I'd love to see you and R2C see you, right?
R2C, yes, yeah. I put him to sleep, but he might wake up and chat with us later. So
these are the most realistic droids that you can't get any more realistic than those. Like, I know no one can hear it right now, but it is the cutest thing. Like, it sounds just like it.
It's true. Here, I'll turn him on. I'll wake him up. We'll have a little tester here. So Ashley, you are not only a family travel specialist, but you're also one of our Disney specialists, correct?
Mm-hmm. Oh. Yes, that is correct.
There you go. See who's talking to you guys.
I love it.
So cool. These are not toys. These are like real, legit. Like, it's awesome.
He's actually my favorite, and I like the original Star Wars. I didn't keep up on the new ones. Sorry, everybody. But I know they're popular, and for a reason, they're amazing. I just got to catch up on them. But that's what Emily has right there. Is you guys can actually build that at Walt Disney World. It's one of the extras that we can help book for you. So
yep, absolutely. And you and I, we've been super excited about doing this video today because we both really love Disney. Yes. And, you were brought on this team you have Disney experience. You actually worked for Disney once upon a time. And
I love that.
What's that?
I love Once Upon a Time. I love it.
Once Upon a Time. But that was really important. Like, speaking with you, you really embody a lot of my vision for helping clients. And obviously you love Disney a lot, and that really translates well to our clients that are looking to book Disney. So absolutely. Yeah, that's awesome. And you and I both are fully certified in everything Disney, which all the different places. So today we're going to talk about the 4 main areas of Disney that you can visit. And we're going to talk about how that, as a family, different types of families, how that works for them. So I'm so excited to get into it. But let me start with a question for you.
Yes.
So tell me, as advisors, because obviously there's so many Disney agencies out there, what would you tell these lovely people sets us apart as Disney advisors?
Well, there's myself. We have another Disney advisor as well. And we both kind of live, eat, and breathe Disney since we were babies. Before we even remembered going to any Disney destination. What sets us apart is the planning process we do with our clients to make sure that they are prepared when they get to whatever Disney destination they're going to. What also sets us apart is that we work with our clients. Yeah. So what I tell my clients is, I will always work with whatever given budget you give me. Yeah, I'm not here to be, a pushy, insurance agent and try and get you to spend more than you want to or can. I may suggest things that may not be something you would think of, or something that may be a little over budget, but it's just suggestions based on how I think you can have the most magical time. However, no matter what your budget is, you are going to have the most magical experience at Disney, and we will make that happen for you.
That's our mission, especially you guys, especially our Disney team, for sure.
Absolutely. So, and I think with every advisor, every destination we do, it's customized and unique to your unique travel style. And what you're looking to do on that particular vacation. Disney, specifically talking about Disney World, there are a lot of different families, all different types of families that go, and they want to experience or see different things. Some are more foodies than others.
Mhm.
Some like to go for the Run Disney events, even as a family, while, the mom or dad or whoever's, running, and then, they want to experience those things. Some just want to really take in Magic Kingdom and then just go shopping at Disney Springs. So whatever you're looking to do, we make sure that you have all the resources you need. We make sure that you're ready to go, basically. We take all that stress and time off of your shoulders. Specifically for what sets me apart. So I lived in Orlando, Florida. I started out as a cast member at Walt Disney World on a ride that's no longer there, the Great Movie Ride. If any of you have been on that, I was the person on the vehicle with you,
So cool.
doing the spiel and getting kidnapped halfway through the ride. But I loved every minute of it. Then I was a manager, part of a team of managers that oversaw 3 other attractions that are no longer there. Backlot Tour, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids Playground, and it was a car stunt show. I can't remember the name. So I have been in the trenches, so to speak, even though it wasn't trenches because it's Disney. Everything felt wonderful. But so I have been, I lived and breathed that, and I still do, even though I'm not down there, and I wish I was. And then I became a Disney reservation agent right before I started working with Signpost Destinations. So I've been in that aspect too with the reservations. A lot of my career was in hotel resort management as well. But at the end of the day, with all those things coming together, is me wanting to pass on my love and passion for Disney to you and make sure that you have, and we're going to say magical a lot on this call probably.
Yeah.
A magical. The other thing we like to say is, sprinkle you with pixie dust. And that means little surprises we can do for you, making sure that we always ask, what's your favorite characters? I don't know if every travel advisor asks that, because that's important. And it really determines character breakfast and what you want to see in the theme and the atmosphere you want to be in. So I could go on all day long, but basically, in a nutshell, that's what sets us and me apart for specifically for Disney, but also for family travel in general. So, and I have a family myself. I have a 2.5-year-old son. Emily, a lot of us on our team have families, and we've traveled with them, or we know families that have, or we've helped families. And it's a lot. Think of it as when you take your kids to probably just go out to lunch. It's like at least 20-minute process getting your kids out the door. Now imagine that with a trip to Disney. Oh my goodness, there's so many pieces and moving parts, especially too if it's a multi-generational trip. So
for sure,
and we are experts on putting those moving pieces and parts together so it makes sense and creates a seamless, wonderful vacation for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I was thinking also, Disney is not what it once was. Disney has always had a lot of moving parts. We say that a lot because there's just so much that goes into it between the resorts and the transfers and, the different parks. And now there's reservations. So much has changed even in the last 3 years that it's just so much more complex to book than it was even 3 years ago. And so we manage that. We know our job is to know those things and to know what to expect. And oftentimes, more often than not, it's things that we know as experts that most regular people on the street have no idea that they're even things that need to be considered. So we wrap all of that into a really lovely package and here you go. We asking all these questions to make sure that it's the perfect trip for you, for your family, whatever your family is. Absolutely. And also taking what can become and typically becomes a pretty stressful process for people that aren't working with an advisor. And I love that our Disney specialists, we're all moms, we all have families, we're all spouses, and that really helps from that perspective. Like you said, that really changes how we help people, it kind of gives us a little bit more to stand on because we've done it. We do it every day. So
it does. And all the planning, like pieces, parts, I always, go over all of that. By far, Walt Disney World's going to have the most pieces, parts. So
yes.
I do go over that with my clients. I lay everything out that needs to be done. And, I go over, look, this is what I do. I love what I do. And I want you to come back from your vacation. I want to see your pictures and see you having the best time. Yeah. So I will plan all of this from A to Z. But again, at the end of the day, it's my client's decision. So I will plan as much or as little as they want me to.
Absolutely.
But I love planning it all because it's more seamless that way for my clients. Yeah. But yeah, so like just off the top of my head, there's Disney Genie Plus, which is like Fast Pass. There's your Park Pass reservations, your dining reservations. Yeah. If you want to build our 2CU, then we need to look at that. There's probably about 70 enchanting extras that you can book separately. And that's why we love to get to know you so well, is because then we can suggest some of those. So there's My Disney Experience, the app. And so you really need to have almost like a computer background, technological background to go to Disney.
It's true.
That's the way it is everywhere now. So
so the average vacation without considering Disney takes people an average of 40 hours to plan. So when a travel advisor does it, it's usually between 10 and 15 that we can put in because we do it every day. We can really simplify that. But let's look at like a regular person on the street, right, booking Disney and a regular trip. That's not Disney. So if a regular trip is 40 hours, Disney has to be at least 80. And that's not just me. Like those are statistics. You can find those things out there, like you're saying, because there's so many extra pieces that need to be put together. And what we want in our focus is we want to build a relationship so that you guys know us, we know you, you trust us, and we can say, listen, go take your kids to the park, go do this, go do that, sleep in, like do those things. We're going to take care of it for you so that the only thing you have to do is go and have fun. We don't want you to be like, oh my gosh, did I get this reservation? Blah, blah, blah. Like that totally detracts from your vacation. So our job is to handle that so that when you get there, it's just as stress-free and as enjoyable as possible for everybody. And, we have different levels of service that not levels. Everybody's going to get our number one top level of service, but there's different packages of how much we can be involved in things like that too. So, but again, we're super upfront. We like to chat. So we will always be open and share those options with everybody and help you decide on what's going to be best for you for your trip, right? So,
absolutely. And it's great to have a travel advisor when you're actually there and something goes down.
One stop.
Emily has a story. This happened with our other Disney travel specialist. And she was amazing helping her clients through it. If you wanted to just mention it.
Yeah, no, it was so unreal. And again, it's not like there was really nobody to blame. It was just this crazy like happenstance. There was a glitch in the computer system. It was probably like a solar flare or something. I don't know what, but our other advisor had clients at the park getting ready to take their 7-year-old twins to the park for the very first day. They get up, open up their phone, and Disney app said, "Oh, you have no reservations. Like we don't even recognize that you're at the park." And they, rather than freaking out and be like, "Oh my gosh, who do we call? Why are they?" Right? Like they were like, it was like chaos, mass chaos all around them at the resort. People were freaking out, but they didn't freak out. What they did is they called our other advisor and were like, "Hey, what's going on? Can you fix this?" And she was like, "I'm already on it. I already know things are going on. Let me make a couple calls." So the clients went to breakfast. They had a lovely breakfast, and by the time they were done with breakfast, our other advisor had everything squared away for them. Reservations were back. Here it is. You're good to go. And they got to just go to the park while everybody was still freaking out. That's what we do. That's very unheard of for that, and that's also very extreme. Even if it's something not that major, like everything disappears. We got you. Just send a message. Give us a call.
My last clients that went to Disney, they got there and their pack and play wasn't in the room. It should have been, but it happens. But they called me, and it's something little, but I'm happy to take care of it.
Absolutely.
For you. So you can do other things. Go to the pool. Go shopping. I make it a point that when I know my clients are on their vacation, the dates of that vacation, that I have my phone constantly by me.
Yeah.
If you don't reach me, I will get back to you. But also, all of our advisors, we give you lists of numbers and who to call for what. If something happens, sometimes if you're on a different time zone, that can happen on cruises. But who to reach out to just in case you can't get a hold of us right away. But we and I try my best to be there for you guys. So
don't worry about calling the airlines. Don't worry about waiting on hold at Disney. Don't worry about this, that, or the other. You've got one person, right? Like your Disney advisor is going to be that person that's going to handle it for you. So
that one-stop shop. And I can tell you from being a Disney reservation agent, there's long hold times. And one of the things that, just to mention, one of the things Disney is great with is that if we book you a reservation and a promotion comes out and it's applicable to your reservation and it's still available, we can go ahead. I check that every other day for my clients because you just never know. And we want you to have the best, promotional offer, the best offer possible, because
it doesn't benefit us for people to pay more money. So we're going to do whatever we can to make sure that you're satisfied.
Yeah. If we went on vacation, we'd want the best offer possible too. That's everything. So So, if it was just you doing the trip and you see the offer, number one, you may think it's applicable, but it's not. And so you may call in and just to hear, that's not something we can do.
Right.
But even if you call in, you might wait because that's something you have to call in for. And so that's what we do. That's another way we give you your time back. Nobody likes calling into call centers and talking to a robot, especially when they're planning a vacation and they want a clear, concise answer. Yeah. So we give you those clear, concise answers, but then we also make things happen for you behind the scenes.
Make them happen. Yep. Yeah. There are so many things. That's a really good point. There's so many things that happen day to day in our work, in what we do, that our clients have no idea are issues that we're handling, or this came up, that came up, that we're handling that you don't even have to stress about. Like, there's so many things.
Yeah. And thinking about things that you may not think about. I always ask my clients, hey, are you looking to me to set up kind of a budget of, what you're looking to spend food wise? And then we'll talk about that. And then when I learn more about that, then I go, oh my gosh, I have a bunch of great suppliers that can deliver groceries to your room. A couple of which are not well known, but they're Disney trusted suppliers. And then there's Amazon and Walmart, but not everybody knows they can get food delivered to the room. Not everybody knows you can have a stroller or a scooter delivered to your room, and then you just leave it at the hotel when you leave. You don't have to worry about making sure there's a stroller available at the park. And they're not the most comfortable strollers either. They're not. And the scooters aren't always great too. So I went on a multi-generational trip last May, and both my parents needed scooters. So we used that supplier, and it was great. Both were in great condition. One just wasn't backing up as well as it should be. And within an hour, they brought a new one. So we know different suppliers and how great their services and what
we know who to get a hold of. Yeah. It's a perfect. So on point. I was also thinking too, a lot of us on our team have training for inclusive travel and disability accessibility travel. I know that I've had families that have kids that are autistic, or kids with physical disabilities, or things like that. And we ask those things not to be nosy, not to pry, things like that, but because we want to understand you and understand what your needs are. If you've got, maybe your spouse is a veteran and they, maybe they need a scooter, things like that. We ask those things so that we can take care of all those different pieces for you. So that you don't have to be like, oh my gosh, I didn't even think about blah, blah, blah. That's okay. Yeah. You didn't have to think about it. We got you. We got it all handled. So
if you have medical devices that you have to bring with you, we make sure the hotel's
breast pumps. Breastfeeding stations. Those are all big things at Disney. Yeah.
Right. Traveling with pets, which resorts take them? What's the fee for the pets? Is there a pet daycare center, which there is, and it's really cute.
So cool.
They have private rooms with TVs and
beds.
My gosh.
So
that was a good point, Emily. So things like that are things not everybody thinks of, or they think of, but they don't know where to go for it. And so,
or we'll just figure it out when we get there. That's not always the best approach, especially with Disney. The sooner you can plan for those things and get it taken care of, the better. So, which that kind of leads into one thing that we were talking about last time when we were talking about cruises and family travel was when people need to be thinking about booking trips.
Yes.
So our general rule of thumb just across the company for most things is 6 to 9 months. But that is so rough. That is such a rough range because it depends. Like, right, if it's just me and I'm going on a business trip, I can do it in 6 weeks, no big deal. If we have a multi-gen group, 6 weeks, nope, not even the best travel advisor can typically pull something like that off. But like all that to say is that there's so many there's a range of things. So let's talk real quick about your professional opinion about when people should be booking Disney, especially if they're like multi-gen and things like that.
Yeah. So I love what you said about multi-gen, because it's not even so much any of us can pull that off in that short amount of time, but it may not be exactly what you're looking for. And we may not be able to get you the best rates for different things that you may need, because everybody, if it's multi-gen, there's, it could be from an infant to, the grandmother, the grandfather, everybody needs or is looking to do something different. So, you can book, with us anytime you want, but you just have to be, realistic that you may not get the best rates. You may not get the best availability. For Disney, for family travel, kind of the whole shebang. I mean, for my professional opinion, I would say 9 months minimum. And that's, I have a lot of clients who are like, well, but I want to wait to book because I know there's going to be a better offer that comes out. And as I think I mentioned briefly before, we can always apply that offer when it comes out. Again, based on availability, I can't guarantee it, but
we'll do our best.
Great with always having offers come out. So don't let that be the determining factor of waiting till the last minute. What we want to do is get you booked so that we can make sure we get you the room type and the resort that you want. We can make sure that our suppliers, that we can get you if you want, a scooter or stroller delivered, that those are available.
Secured for you for your reservations.
Also, very important factor, this applies to Disneyland and Disney World, is the park pass reservations. So when someone books far out, I typically tell them no more than 60 days prior should you book your park pass reservation. And basically what that means is, along with your ticket that you purchase, you have to reserve ahead of time which park you're going to on each day.
And that's new in the last couple of years.
New post, it started during the beginning of the pandemic. So And if you don't have a park pass reservation, even if you have a ticket, you can't get in.
You're not getting in.
I was a reservation agent. I had people call because they would, even though I was a reservation agent, some people that were at Walt Disney World would still call. And there was nothing I could do for them. And I felt so bad, either because it was a last minute trip or they didn't even know about park pass reservations. Again, that's where we're there to help you. So particular times of year come into play with when to book. Spring break, holidays, like Christmas time and Halloween time. And even during this, and this sounds strange because back in the day, January and February were like the slowest months to go, and they still are. But there's Run Disney events during that time. So they do all kinds of marathons throughout there. So that's something you may not be aware of. And if you try to book last minute. But as a general rule, I like to say, at least 9 months in advance, but, come to us and we will do the best we can, whether it's, 4 months away or a year away.
If you're thinking about it, if you're thinking at some point I want to go to Disney, reach out to us now. Like, there's no harm in that at all. Like, and we'll be like, oh, it's a little bit further away. I'll make a note. I'll reach out to you in 3 months or, whatever. Like, we can help determine like when that sweet spot will be for you. So, and, we can talk about each, let's get into the the four main sections of Disney, and maybe we can kind of give a little bit more specifics based on the area. So let's start with the biggest, Disney World and Disneyland. We'll kind of talk about both kind of at once. So let's talk about what makes them special. Let's talk about what about the how much time do you recommend people should really have at each place? And maybe just touch real quick on I guess on the amount of time to book. But
okay. I got you. So Disneyland, so that's the park that started it all.
Classic.
Yeah, that's where Walt Disney World made his start. So since we're in 2023, I want to keep it kind of current, what's going on at each destination, but in regards to booking and everything. So Disneyland this year is going to be a hot spot. And because it is 100 years of animation, so that's the 100-year anniversary. When Disney first put down his pencil, and started drawing all of our, favorite characters that we love and know today, and just started all the magic with everything. So they're going to be celebrating that at Disneyland. So they've also renovated. They have 3 on-site resorts, so they've renovated a couple of those, and then there's these new villas coming out, which is great for multi-generational families, big families. You get a kitchen and all that. So Disneyland, for at least for 2023, I would say, because there's not as many resorts at Disneyland, if you want to stay on property, then I would say, for 2023, book now. I mean, book now if you're thinking about it. Yeah. For a year out, Disneyland isn't as, I don't want to say as popular, but it doesn't fill up to the point of being at capacity or only having 1 or 2, room types left, or not having any park pass reservations. So really with Disneyland, that can be booked, less than 9 months out. The only exception I would say is a lot of clients that go to Disneyland want to also see other parts of California, since it's beautiful, it's huge. You're not far from the beach. You're not far from San Diego, which is a beautiful town, lots to do there. And there's other parks too, like Universal, Hollywood, Knott's Berry Farms, all that stuff. So if you want more of that, then that would be more of an advanced time to kind of get that all planned. Yeah.
And which we can help with too. But we don't just do Disney. Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people, it feels like our Disneyland request, they'll go out typically 7 to 10 days, especially like you and I are both in the Midwest. Not our whole team is all over the country, but a lot of our advisors and our clients are kind of in this region of the States. So going to California is kind of a big deal for us. Like that's a commitment to go out there. Yeah. So again, most people go that 7 to 10 days, and they may spend 3 or 4 at Disneyland, a couple days at the park, and I stay chilling at the resort. And then you're saying, take a day down and go to, San Diego, or do this or do that. So that seems very classic, like how people do Disney World. Disneyland. Disney World, that's a whole other ball of wax. Like that's totally different. Yeah.
So, and I would say in regards, because we're on family travel, if you're considering Disneyland or Walt Disney World, they're both great for adults and kids of all ages. I would say Disneyland is better for older kids, because so you've got 2 parks. You've got Magic Kingdom, the classic, and then you've got California Adventure. But they're in it's not spread out like Walt Disney World. So you've got a lot of different thrill rides, especially more at California Adventure, in a tighter space. So when you have older kids, they kind of just want to jump from ride to ride. And, they may enjoy, other aspects of California, and, getting around. A lot of people want to rent a car. It's not always great when you have, little ones for that purpose. It's doable, but it's not always fun to have them in car rides if it's too much. So, and then Walt Disney World, that's great for first timers, because it's you once you pull into Walt Disney World property, you're set off from the rest of the world. You won't see anything but Disney magic until you leave to go home. You're surrounded by it. So
Yeah.
great for first timers, of course, great for young kids. I always recommend my families with little ones that it's their first time, that they do Magic Kingdom twice.
Yeah.
If it allows for it within their tickets, just because you don't want to rush Magic Kingdom, you don't want to push your kids too hard, and you want to enjoy it. But were we back to booking now for Walt Disney World? Or?
Yeah. I was gonna say too with Disney World, I don't like unless you've been there, people don't realize how massive it is. Like even walking, like just in Magic Kingdom, will take you all day. It is such like each individual park is massive. The resorts are massive, but that's okay. So like that's part of why people go time and time again is because you literally can't do it. You cannot do it all in a trip unless you've got all the time in the world. Which
I would say at least 10 days. Unless you were like a speedster, maybe 7, but that's not with little kids in tow.
Right. And and that's a conversation that we like to have too. Like if this is your first time, what are the age of your kids? Because we want to make sure that we're setting realistic expectations for you, like in what a 3-year-old can do, what can a 7-year-old do, things like that. So my opinion is it'll be interesting because I agree with you. Like going to Magic Kingdom, if it's your first time, absolutely. And part of our service too is maybe you need to show up on a Tuesday because it's best to do Magic Kingdom on a Wednesday or something like that. You and I are big believers in a rest day in between because it can really wear you out and wear your kids out going to the parks all day.
That's why I say if a family comes to me and says we want to do all 4 parks, then you at least need a 5-day trip so you can have a rest day in between. And then if you want that rest day to be just, hanging out at your resort at the pool, but you still want to go to Disney Springs. Disney Springs is it used to be called Downtown Disney, but it's where the shops and restaurants and fun treats and entertainment. It's huge. It's huge. They've expanded it. So if that's something you want to do too, but you don't want to put it into the rest day necessarily, then, you need to do more than 5 nights. So you just look at, what each client wants to accomplish. And if they want to try and accomplish everything, then, we give that, hey, well, then you might, 7 at minimum, because they have water parks too. It just keeps going. And have fun for me personally. And I have lots of families and clients where the kids love it too. Especially the holiday season at Walt Disney World is going in and seeing the different resorts.
Oh my gosh, my favorite thing.
Themed differently. And some you can get to by monorail or the Disney Skyliner. So that's fun for the kids to even ride on and go. And like I said, Christmas time, there's some that have life-size gingerbread houses or big trains. And so think about time for that. I know if you've never been to Disney World before, they're like, why would I want to go see other resorts? And it sounds strange, but trust me, like you at least want to see a couple of them, and we could suggest which ones would be best, but they're pretty amazing. So
I like sending clients suggesting just go on an adventure. Like leave out if you've got the Skyliner, go for a ride and stop at the resort and just walk around. Like just go. It's super fun. Let your kids just explore and see what they find. Like you're not going to get lost. You're not going to get in trouble. Like it's very safe. Just go. Like let kids be kids and let them explore. It's super fun. I agree 100%. Also, I think the most classic thing is that people go for 7 days and they do the parks usually for 4 or 5, like 1 park day each. If you can do 5, so then you can have like 1 more day to like go back to Magic Kingdom or do park hopper. I think that is ideal. But like you said, it totally depends on your budget. In a perfect world, I think both you and I would say like 8-9 days, and then having days built in for water parks. But again, like that's just us, what we would do. But we can take all those things into consideration. But even still, even if you had an entire week, you're not going to see everything. So we're going to help make sure that we get it planned out. on your group and things like that. So
yeah.
yes.
And we have a lot of clients that want to combine Disney with Universal because they're right down the street from each other. And we help plan that too. And so yeah, like you're saying, it's everyone's unique travel style. It's what they're looking to accomplish. You know, we could say, oh my God, you have to see Galaxy's Edge. But maybe they're not a Star Wars fan, or they don't know the newer movies like I do. So it may not be like, you know, we're not going to suggest something just because we love it. It's got to be something that's going to speak to you and your family.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like we have a family, like we do everything. We do everything. We have a family right now. One of our advisors has a family that's doing a non-Disney cruise. And then the cruise is like 4 days, and then they're going to stay in Cocoa Beach, and they're going to do Kennedy Space Center, and then they're transferring, and they're going to do Universal for a day, and they're going to do Disney for a day. Like we can customize like anything, whatever you want.
Really,
if you're like, we're going.
The bases on that.
Yeah,
trip.
I know. Isn't that awesome? That's so cool. But yeah, we can do that. Which actually that kind of pulls us into the next one that we love is Disney cruises.
Oh yes,
right?
I couldn't think of what. Yeah, yes, absolutely.
That's a big thing. Doing the park and then a cruise, that's huge. I've done that before a couple times.
Yeah.
That's really
and so
fun.
we can very easily package that together. And, you know, Port Canaveral, where Disney Cruise Line, a lot of the Caribbean cruises go out of, it's like a 45-minute jaunt. I mean, it's not.
And Disney has shuttles. Like you don't have to worry about, how am I going to get there? No, they will pick you up. They'll take you right there. Yeah.
So easy. It's so cool.
So easy.
Disney Cruise Line. Before I hop to Disney Cruise Line, these are just, I'm not going to go into detail because we don't want to make the video long. Everything, the bullet points I'm going to go over for each destination. We have a Disney Facebook group. And so we'll put it up at the end, the link to it. But for more information on anything that we're going over from this call, definitely join our Facebook group. We'd love to have you. And we constantly post, updates, offers, just fun facts and tidbits. So definitely give that a look. We'd love to have you join. Real quick to end the Disneyland, Disney World section. So it is the 100 years of animation at Disneyland. Epcot will also be participating in that celebration. They are getting closer to unveiling their new reimagining of Epcot. So Future World's turning into 3 different lands. Most are almost complete. So you're going to start to see those walls coming down if you've been to Disney recently. It's kind of sad to see all the construction at Epcot, but it's going to be well worth it.
It's been several years they've been working on that. So it's a big
pandemic didn't help,
Yeah, that's true.
Which with the pandemic didn't help Tron. So Tron's coming out April 4th, right around the corner.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. We've been waiting a long time for that. It's one of the fastest, if not the fastest coaster at Disney World. Or I think it's at both parks, Disney World or Disneyland.
Yeah.
And then Animal Kingdom's another anniversary. They're celebrating their 25th anniversary. So they're going to have a lot of new character meet and greets, and they're going to really amp up the storytelling on their conservation efforts, which I think that's amazing. So a lot of things still coming down the pipeline for both Disneyland and Disney World. So keep your eyes and your ears open and join the group, and we'll constantly keep you updated. So.
Yeah, no matter if you're watching this live or if you're watching it in 6 months, maybe what we're talking about isn't necessarily new anymore, but Ashley is on top of it. Our team's going to be on top of it. So if you're like, oh, that's cool, like just send us a message. We'll hook you up. Don't worry. Like we got it.
All right. So we're going to Disney Cruise Line, right?
Yeah, let's do Disney Cruise.
Perfect.
Oh my gosh. I love cruises. Like that's not really a secret. Like it's my favorite. I think I sell probably the most cruises, which actually you and I were talking beforehand. That has been our biggest, like that's been trending for us huge here at Signpost Destinations, our Disney cruises, which for good reason.
Especially since the Disney Wish came out, that really affected it.
And the Disney Wish is they're doing that like their 4-day cruises on the Wish right now, which is perfect for pairing either doing the park and then cruise or cruise and then park. So you can get that taste of that brand new amazing ship. And then we've got some new stuff coming out, which again, this is cool for us to talk about right now, but even watching this down the road, like this is still super huge.
Yes.
2024, Disney has a second Wish ship coming out, the Disney Treasure. It's going to be that same category, and it is unbelievable. I think you probably, like me, I've been on so many like webinars and conferences, like listening about the Treasure coming out. It's going to be fantastic.
And I've seen one brief artist rendering, and it's just not enough. Like I just need to see, because I think one of my favorite movies of Disney is Aladdin, and so I think it's going to be themed like probably like Arabian Night, like Genie. I think they're trying to tie in their Disney Genie at Disney World, but it's going to be beautiful. If any of you have seen Disney Wish, then you'll get excited like us to know that Disney Treasure is coming out. Because there's no detail missed with any Disney destination, especially the Disney's cruise. Emily, I know because you've been on a lot of cruises, how awesome are the split bathrooms on the Disney cruise?
My gosh, nobody else does that really.
I know. I don't think
it's unbelievable. That is so nice, especially like most people, like more than 80% of people on a Disney cruise are families, which makes sense. Do you know a lot of people don't know Disney cruises are actually luxury? So they're actually going to be nicer. Yeah. They're going to be a lot nicer than even Norwegian, Royal Caribbean, like certainly we don't talk about Carnival around here, but it's definitely nicer than that for sure. And one thing that I like to touch on too, like we were just talking about the parks. When you're at the parks, you can certainly get where you are so immersed in like there's characters and there's colors and there's sounds and things like that. Most of Disney is not like that. I feel like they get a really bad rap for that, especially Disney Cruise Line. Like I'm going to go on this boat and there's going to be Mickey every time I turn around and la la la. It's not like that. It's very much like if you want to do a meet and greet, you go here, but really it's just a really wonderful opportunity and experience to do a Disney cruise that's done in a way that only Disney can. The cleanliness, like their ships and everything are just so clean and so modern and just so client focused that nobody can touch what Disney does, like how they take care of people. And that's super evident in their cruise ships, especially. And then the other new announcement that just came out, this was like just this week.
This is awesome.
So Disney, okay, again, every cruise line has, all the major ones have a private destination island. Everybody has heard of these, I'm sure. All the other cruise lines have them, and they're all up in the northwestern section of the Bahamas. That's areas called the Berry Islands. And actually, when I was cruising last fall, from our balcony, you could see down the chain of islands, and you could see like MCL and Princess and Disney. Like you could see all the different islands. And Disney Castaway Key is fantastic, and they've done a lot of renovations to it. But they just announced, Disney, that they have a second private island coming out. And it is in a different region of the Bahamas. It's called Eleuthera, which is like south and west. So like south of Nassau. And it's just going to be really great, like a new, just a totally different feel from a lot of them. And it's called Lighthouse Point. The renderings are amazing. It's going to be so awesome.
Yeah, the renderings show what Disney does best, and it's wherever they're going to create something, they're going to be respectful, and they're going to incorporate and be authentic with the culture that they're in. So really throughout the whole island, they're celebrating the Bahamian culture, and they're doing it with storytelling and colors and music and all the stuff that Disney does. And to a point of, cruises are great for multi-generational families.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And I know it's like kind of with Disney Cruise Line, it's like, well, I feel like it's mostly for my kids. Number one, adults love Disney just as much. Come on. But number two, they on the ship and on their private islands, they have something for everyone of all ages. The Lighthouse Point is no exception. One of the things, and we, I think next month or coming down the pipeline, you'll be talking ecotourism.
Yes, yep, next month, yep.
And Disney's no different than that. It's just not as very like well known. And I like to educate my clients on that if they want to hear about it, because I just think when destination suppliers give back, it's just that more impactful. And you can even share that with your family. So just back to, I kind of sidetracked, but Lighthouse Point, 90% of that island is going to be powered by solar energy.
Cool.
So, and they're making efforts they're going to be building, I think it's the dock. You think we had talked about this, but the way they're building some things is so it's not going to have an impact on the environment.
Cool, yeah.
So,
and their ships, a lot of their ships now are becoming more like bio-based fuels and things like that, so that it's better. Even their new ships are better for the environment and things like that, which is really great. Quick side note, like that's something that's really important to our entire company, Signpost Destinations. That's part of why we partner with companies like Disney, is because they do so much for the planet and for people and for the culture and for customs and things like that, beyond just let me be entertaining for you. Like they're so great with service and with, like you're saying, like their conservation efforts and things like that. So that's definitely something that one reason why we love working with Disney for sure. So
absolutely.
Yeah. And military, we've talked about that before. Disney has some of the best military offerings. So which it's so good. So good. So
thank you everyone for your service. I have to say that. But I like to use the example. There's 3 different levels of resorts at Walt Disney World. There's value, moderate, and deluxe. They all are great. So there's it's just whatever you want to put into it with your budget. But we've always stayed at moderate resorts, and our trip this past May, my dad's a veteran, and we were able to stay at the Contemporary Resort, which is normally, I want to say, usually minimum $500 a night. It's insane.
At least,
and we can't afford that. But with the military promotion, we did. And there's a lot that people don't know about when those promotions come out, so you can jump on them because they're based on availability as far as the resorts go. There's many different ticket types they have for the military. There's all kinds of discounts besides tickets and resorts too for the military. So and that goes for a Disney Cruise Line as well, since we're so
absolutely good. And those are all things that we know. Like it's our job to be up on those things. So if you're like, oh yeah, hey, my dad is a veteran, let us know. Let us know, and we'll hook you up with those things as well. So,
and I cannot talk Disney Cruise Line, Emily, without mentioning the holiday sailings, because they go all out. So like Halloween on the High Seas.
I've got that one.
Want to see the Sanderson sisters? There you go. That is my. I'm sorry. I'm a Hocus Pocus. I love it. The original. But
look at those stops too. Oh my gosh,
they have a Halloween tree that's like animated and does stuff. Of course, there's like trick or treating. Everybody, if you want to, dresses up on the ship, in your favorite Halloween costume. And the decor, the music, the treats, it's all there. And then Christmas.
I've got that one too.
Christmas time. The Very Merry Time cruise. So of course you're gonna have Santa. I don't know how they make this happen, but somehow it's in one part of the ship they make it snow. So on the ship, I know they do that on Main Street around Christmas time in Magic Kingdom. But they do it on the ship. And so just those are really fun, and a fun way to celebrate the holidays. If you don't want to, you want to change it up, maybe just go somewhere for Christmas, or trick or treat on the ship rather than around your neighborhood, or whatever. So cool. I like to mention those because those are really fun sailings.
Yeah, absolutely. I've not done Halloween, but I have done the holidays before, so that is a great one. Oh, it's amazing, so awesome. So let's move into, let's just talk briefly about Aulani. That's one of the newer features of Disney, and it's equally as amazing, but there's just not as much to talk about as some of the others. We'll just touch on it real quick for everybody, because again, our team is fully certified to sell it. Like, we are Aulani specialists here, but let's talk about a little bit about Aulani and talk about who, like, family-wise, who that would be really great for.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Aulani is great for all ages. I really do because so it's in Oahu. God, I cannot talk today. I need more coffee.
Okay.
It's in Oahu, in the section of Kolina.
So like around north end, on the west coast, north of like
you do
Pearl
a lot of like
Harbor.
northwest and south. I don't know any of
I
that.
do, yeah.
It's over there. I don't know.
It's a great spot of the island, but
Yeah.
we'll leave it at that. Yeah.
What makes it a great spot is you're in between the mountains and the ocean, and
Perfect.
that's
So
the best
idyllic.
of both worlds. It's not so it opened in 2011, so it is newer, like Emily said. They expanded the resort because it was so popular in 2013. So for that needs to be booked much farther out than if you were to book Disneyland, only because it is Hawaii, and you really don't have to leave the resort, Aulani Resort and Spa. Yeah. But if that's something you want to do and kind of venture out, then it really does need to be booked further out.
Yeah.
But there's so much to do at the resort. Of course, there's water sports activities, the pool theme, and the kids play area, the splash area. There's at least 3 restaurants. I think there might be 4. And then they just reopened Auntie's Beach House.
Yes.
So Auntie has been there since they opened. She she's a local of Kolina, and the way she is with children and the fun that they have, and they try to make it authentic with the arts and crafts and activities they do.
And to sneakily educational also. Yeah.
Educational. They slide it in there. Yeah. So it's a great place. You can kind of think of it as an all-inclusive because you don't have to leave the property. Not everything's included like an all-inclusive, but it's great for little ones too if you don't want to kind of shuffle them all around different parts of Hawaii. This will give you the best of both Disney and the beauty of Hawaii, and they make it authentic so it doesn't feel I like to say like touristy. So it's that's the storytelling. It immerses you in the culture, like everything.
Immersive like Disney does. Nobody else does that, and just the level of attention to detail, and just it's Disney. Disney just does things like in a way like when you get there, you're like, it does feel like Disney. But it's so completely different than Disney World, Disneyland. Like it's completely different in a really wonderful way. I just had clients get back from Hawaii. It was a group of 10. Their luau was like $1,400, I want to say, for them to go to a luau one night, their group in Hawaii. So it's nice that Aulani has there's a super authentic, real people that is right there on property. That's amazing for their guests. Like that's what Disney is. That's Disney. Those extra little touches. So it's perfect. Such a great place. Great for multi-gen too, right? Because if you had like older adults and they want to go out and tour, grandma and grandpa, absolutely, but still come back at the end of the day and do the luau or go swimming and like that sort of a thing. So wonderful.
Or if it was me, Mama would be at the spa. So that's what
You and me both. Good. All right. Well, then the last, but certainly not least, is Adventures by Disney. And I know that we're both really excited about this. And like on behalf of our entire company, it kind of started with like you and me and Kate, our other Disney specialist, talking about what Adventures by Disney is. And like as the rest of the team has like heard us talking about it, everybody is like, yes, like that is it. It just is so, Adventures by Disney is so on point for who our clients are here at Signpost Destinations. No matter who, like the different niches, everybody does a little bit something different. So I'm going to start with that, and then we'll talk more specifically about what Adventures by Disney is. But one of our goals this year, because we're taking it very seriously, yes, there's the group of us Disney specialists that are certified in Adventures by Disney. But in this year, our team is going above and beyond to try to be very specifically Disney Adventures by Disney specialists, like taking it to a whole other level, way beyond like what other agencies do. So with that, let's talk a little bit about what Adventures by Disney is and like what would that look like for family travel as well.
Yeah, so Adventures by Disney. So I think when I talk to clients, I promote it about it. It's not well known, like you said, and the title Adventures by Disney. So are we going to go hiking with Mickey? No.
No.
It's a lot more broader than that. So
Mhm.
a lot of our clients, past, present, potential, love going over to Europe, different countries, and doing tours, whether that's a land tour, a river cruise, an expedition if you're adventurous.
Genealogy is a big thing.
Yes.
Yep. Yep.
So multi-generational so this is a tour company, but it's operated by Disney.
That's tailored
And
in.
so
Yeah.
that's what makes it so awesome is that it's going to be authentic, like we've talked about every Disney destination. It's going to be storytelling. You're going to have at least 2 Adventure by Disney guides with you.
Yeah.
Most of them live in that section where you're going to be with them or live in the area around it. So they're going to know firsthand what to show you and where to
Cool
take you,
details.
immerse you in the local culture. And of course, along the way, see the sites that everyone wants to see. But I think that piece in particular, I know the other day we were talking about one of the activities that you can choose to go on. And these, when you book Adventure by Disney, we look at what you're looking for because all the components are basically all included. So when we talk about, you could talk about it because we both love it, but I'll let you talk about it. So, but this one is actually going to a local family's house and this is in Italy, having an Italian dinner. So it's pretty amazing. If you wanted to touch base on it,
No, yeah. I mean, it's exactly that. Like, so when you work with us to plan Signpost Destinations, our team to book an Adventures by Disney, we're going to do just like with every other trip. We want to get to know you. We want to know what you're looking for. We're going to ask a million questions. It might be 2 or 3 different conversations. And then we're going to reach out to our Adventures by Disney specialist it's not accessible to normal people booking. It's done through us. We reach out to them and they are total experts on those different destinations. So we're like, hey, listen, I've got this family. They've got 3 teenagers. Mom and dad, they are so interested in getting back in touch with their heritage, and they, mom is from Italy, and so Disney. We work with Disney to create these moments and these experiences where, yes, we're going to go to Italy. Yep, we're going to see Leaning Tower of Pisa. We're going to see the Colosseum. But what we're going to do is we're going to take you to this place, and it's like this home of these people that are obviously vetted and trusted. And we're going to go and show you how they make real pizzas. And your teenagers, like we're having a pizza party, like with this family of like with Italian teenage kids. And like you get to have this moment that like would not be set up any other way. Like that's the Disney touch, that they have the ability to set the stage for those moments. And that's our passion for our clients. So, and then Adventures by Disney having that. So when we get to work together to create that stage for you to go with your family and have those things, your kids are never going to forget that. Like that's just, it's next level for sure.
And because the adventure guides, depending on, and they work, with who's in the tour group as far as age wise, and they make it applicable to younger kids too.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they bring them in, and because you're going to go to places where you're going to work with not work, that doesn't sound right. You're going to experience things with the locals. And so there's different ways that they incorporate kids to be able to have fun with that. So with Adventures by Disney, meals, your lodging, your transportation, transfers are all included. Most meals, I should say, are included. And so the other thing that sets them apart is the quality that they have for their transportation. When they use different forms of it, for example, their river cruises, they work with AMA Waterways. That is like the gold standard of river cruises. So you can't get any better than that. They have different tours where you can stay in a 16th century castle. Their hotels are 5-star hotels.
Mhm.
So they really go all out. And, there's hundreds of tour companies out there. But I feel, and Emily, I believe you'll agree with me that their operation, these other tour companies are like, okay, let's just get you booked, shove you on a bus, or
your number, get through. Yep.
So this Adventure by Disney will work with us. We work with you, and then we work with them, and it's completely curated to your family, even to the point where that you can do a private tour of you and up to 12 family and friends if you didn't want to, be with other families. But sometimes that's half the fun. You make friends, and but it's to each their own. So yeah, it's great.
Totally. Yeah, it's incredible. And the other reason why we're choosing to spend so much time focusing on Adventures by Disney, just part of my job as an agency owner and being in the travel industry is paying attention to trends and what people want. How are people traveling? In January, we talked about the top 10 destinations for 2023, and Adventures by Disney goes to a lot of those places. Europe is huge. Austria was on our list. London and Paris and Rome always are going to be on that list. But there's two big trends that are really, really huge this year. One is not just doing London, not just doing Rome, but being able to get more immersed in the actual country in these different places. So on our list is actually Great Britain. So rather than just London, people want to go into the English countryside, right? They want to go and be immersed in it. And so that is a huge trend. And Adventures by Disney helps us do that for people. And then the second thing is, like we talked earlier, are those bucket list trips. People are like, I don't want to have to wait. I don't want to keep saying someday. I want to go now. I want to take my kids, or my parents are getting older and I don't want to wait, and I don't want to miss an opportunity. So we're just going to do it. We're going to bite the bullet, and we're going to take mom and dad, and we're going to take the kids, and we're going to go to London for 10 days. We're going to do it because it needs to happen. We want to have the opportunity to make those memories. So that's us. We know that is what you want, right? That's what people want right now. And so we're doing everything possible to train ourselves and get ourselves ready to be able to provide that in the best possible way. So, and that's adventure, right? That's what we do. That's what it's all about, is setting the stage for you to go and have these great moments together, which I think is a great way to wrap up Family Travel Month, is that we're talking about that, right? It's all about your people. Who are your people? And what we do is help you go to these places to have great experiences with them and memories that will last forever on these things. So whether it's Disney World or it's Aulani, or you're going and doing, archery training with Adventures by Disney in Scotland, whatever that looks like for your people, we want to help create that and help get you there.
Yeah. So, I think it's so important for families to, get out of your comfort zone, especially when you're going overseas. Exposing your kids, no matter what age, to other cultures is just priceless. It really opens their eyes, and they learn so much. And so with because we're on Family Travel Month, we want to mention Adventures by Disney, because that is something where when they go on that with everyone as a family, it's going to speak to them so much more than if it was just trying to think of some other tour company names to use, that are great. But I think for family travel, going on a tour, and this could be overseas. They do North America tours.
Canada, Alaska,
Antarctica, go play with the penguins, whatever you want to do.
You're right.
It's a whole package that works for everyone in the family. It really is.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I didn't mean to cut you off. I just didn't forget to mention. So we talk about booking. When you're booking, especially if it's going to be overseas, we definitely want to do it. Try to do it.
Yes.
I just want to say 9 months, but really it should be a year at least. Yes. And so they're doing an early booking special with Adventures by Disney. It's only going through April 18th. So if you're thinking about this, or you want to learn more about it and possibly book something, now's the time to do it, because what they're doing is, this is for river cruises. So they're taking 50% off your deposit for any river cruise, any location. There's no like restrictions to it. Any river cruise. So huge.
Awesome.
Adventure by Disney, they do come out with offers. It's not as often as like Walt Disney World would be or Disney Cruise Line. So it's one of those things when something comes up for them, you want to jump on it. So and I'll have information on that offer if you want to reach out to me on that. There's another offer for them, and there's quite a few offers for all the other Disney destinations we mentioned too. So
and like, so we were saying, so this is going to debut to the world in March. It's March of 23 right now, 2023. So if you're thinking about anything, like especially Adventures by Disney, if 2024, especially multi-gen, reach out to us now. Because like, if there isn't a deal going on when you see this, jump in our Facebook group. Like, you'll be the first to know. Like, our job is to make sure that like, oh, hey, the Smith family, they're so ready for this. Like, I'm going to send them a message right now. This deal is released. Like, that's what they think. That's what we do. So honestly, if you're thinking even 15, 18 months out, still start that conversation with us, because we can make sure that we're ready to go and to pull the trigger when things drop, when it's time to go. So yeah, absolutely. Speaking of Facebook group, do you want me to share this now? Is this a good idea?
Yes, absolutely.
So guys, make sure, please go over and join our Facebook group. You can either search Disney Travel Experts with Signpost Destinations. I'll leave that up on the screen for a few moments. Or hold up your phone, snap a picture of that QR code, and that'll take you right over there as well. And again, we talk all things Disney, Aulani, Disney World, Disneyland, cruises, Adventures by Disney, all those things. Ashley's in there, I'm in there, our other Disney experts are in there. So if you have any questions, that's a great way to reach us. Ashley, I also wanted to drop this for you too. Guys, this is Ashley's information. So this is her direct phone number, her email address, and also you can find her on social media. She's on both Facebook and Instagram at Ashley Clough SD. And again, with the QR code, we like technical things around here. You can actually zap that QR code, and that will take you over to the link to schedule a consultation with her or send her an email. Anything you want to know, there's like an info page, bio on there about her too. Go ahead and zap that, take that information, and I'll make sure I drop that on our main Signpost Destinations page where this video is going on as well, so people can have that. Yeah, this was a great chat. Thank you so much for coming on and chatting with me.
I could talk about Disney all day.
I was gonna say, we discussed that when we were planning this. We were like, we could make like a dozen more videos. So get ready. If you like all these things, we will be making more videos for you guys about Disney, and we will be sharing those soon. So
yes, and Emily will have some ears by then. We're trying to get her.
I will. Well, that's another thing. I don't think it's not really a secret, but I'm going to Disney on a work trip. As an agency owner, these are things that I must do. So I am going in May, and I will be buying at least one pair of ears, and I'm making another droid. He already has a name. I just have to bring him to life. And getting lots of great content and answering questions so that we can stay, ahead of the curve and on top of things for our clients. So
all in 90-degree weather. See, she'll do anything for her clients.
Anything for you guys. So good.
Yeah.
And then,
I just want you guys to know to reach out and pick my brain anytime about Disney, or I'm also my other niches are all-inclusive resorts in Mexico and the Caribbean, and cruises, of course. But reach out to me for any questions or to learn further about things, because that helps you to get to know me. And that's important in the client travel advisor relationship, is that it's just as important for you to get to know me as for me to get to know you and your travel style and what you're looking for. Because we are going to be working together in a sense. And so we want to have that, trust and knowing that, I want what's best for you and how our processes work. But most importantly, I just put a post on my page the other week about just learning about me and my family. And we try all of our, Emily included, all of us we call them no-like posts. We want you to get to know us. We want you to see what we like to do. And because we're not we're not like a robot. We're not just going to be what's the word I'm
just clicking buttons. We're not just like,
yeah, like an impersonal call center agent. You know, that's
Right.
if you know you're coming to us to do these planning services, and I'm sure along with that you don't want some robotic
Yeah, right.
person from a call center. So I just like to really emphasize that because I know it's hard working with the travel advisor if you've never done it before, and because there's really not a lot of brick and mortar travel agencies where you can come in and meet me face to face. So we do these video calls, we do these inquiries where we go over and get to know you guys. So yeah, I just wanted to end with that because a lot of people are new to travel planning, travel advisors.
It's true. We're a very different agency how we do things, but everybody on our team, send us a message, send us an email, give us a call. We are always happy to talk with people and make sure that you're comfortable with things. We are not forceful. We are not car salespeople. We love travel so much. You you love Disney. I love Disney. We'll talk. Like, that's cool. You guys are not going to bother us or offend us. Please ask questions. We love it. Like, we love learning, our whole team too. So that's part of that. Please, we want to make sure you feel comfortable. So yeah, very, very great point, Ashley. I appreciate that.
Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, thank you.
My favorite subject. So
yeah, absolutely. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us today. Please come back. Actually, I'm going to drop your hashtag in there. Ashley Clough SD. Make sure you stay tuned. Next, I'm actually getting ready to head to St. Lucia. So I'm going to be doing a bunch of live content coming up on our main page here shortly, depending on when you see this. Otherwise, it's going to be on our pages. And then next month is going to be my favorite destination. We're going to flow into the Florida Keys. And along with that, we're also going to be doing ecotourism. So sort of like we were talking about conservation efforts with Disney, ecotourism and reef safety and things like that are really important to us here. So make sure you come back and join us. We're going to be talking about all those really cool, really great things. Until then, though, guys, thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next time.
See you real soon, guys.
Perfect. Bye, everybody.
Bye.